Port Charles has never been a city short on heartbreak or suspense, but this week's General Hospital spoilers promise a gut-wrenching twist that could shake Jason Morgan to his core. After a late-night phone call and a sudden crash on the outskirts of town, Britt Westbourne's life hangs in the balance, and Jason's past may be catching up with him in ways he never expected. The calm before the storm. It all starts innocently enough. Britt, after weeks of tension with her mother Liesl Albrecht and her complicated feelings for Jason, takes a late drive to clear her mind. She's been restless, haunted by the choices she's made and the people she's lost, including Jason himself, whose quiet strength once gave her hope in a world where betrayal is the rule, not the exception. But Port Charles nights rarely stay quiet for long. As Britt drives along a rain-slick road leading out of town, a pair of headlights appear in her rearview mirror, too close, too fast, and eerily persistent. Within seconds, the night takes a terrifying turn. The crash that changes everything. Screeching tires, shattered glass, a single echoing scream. By dawn, the town is buzzing with the news. There's been a wreck on Route 31, and the driver's identity hasn't been confirmed. The car, a black SUV, is registered to Britt Westbourne. The moment Jason hears the report, his blood runs cold. Though the world believes he's moved on, the truth is more complicated. Britt wasn't just another chapter in his life. She was one of the few people who truly saw him. She understood the quiet conflict beneath his stoic exterior, the man who carried the burden of loyalty and loss like a second skin. Now, as paramedics scramble to pull the wreck from a ravine, Jason can't ignore the pounding in his chest. He's been through countless gunfights, explosions, and ambushes, but this is different. This is personal. Jason's desperate search for answers. In true Jason fashion, he doesn't wait for official reports or hospital statements. Within minutes, he's on his bike, tearing down the road toward the crash site. Dante Falconry tries to stop him, warning that interfering in an active investigation could complicate things, but Jason doesn't care. If Britt's out there, hurt, missing, or worse, he's not about to stand by. At the scene, the wreckage tells a chilling story. Skid marks suggest Britt's car was forced off the road. A second vehicle might have been involved, but there's no sign of it. The air smells of gasoline and wet earth, and Jason's heart sinks as he spots a piece of Britt's silver bracelet near the guardrail. Someone did this, he mutters, eyes dark with fury. And in Port Charles, someone usually means trouble. Who's behind the wreck? Theories swirl faster than the morning coffee at Kelly's. Was it an accident or an attack? Cody Bell, still torn between friendship and regret, insists Britt had been receiving strange calls lately. Maxie recalls seeing a dark SUV lingering outside the Metro Court parking lot the night before. And Liesl? She's convinced this is no random crash. Her daughter, she insists, was targeted. Whoever hurt my Britta will pay, she vows through tears, and anyone who's crossed Liesl Albrecht knows she keeps her promises. Jason's guilt and the shadows of his past. Back in the safe house, Jason can't escape the gnawing guilt. He remembers the night he and Britt parted ways, her eyes full of hurt, her voice shaking as she told him she couldn't keep living half a life in his shadow. He told himself walking away was for the best, to keep her safe from the danger that always seems to orbit him. But now, as he stares at her photo, Jason can't help but wonder, did his world finally catch up to hers? Sonny Corinthos drops by with an update. The crash wasn't random. Tire impressions match a known vehicle used by a low-level enforcer from one of Sonny's rival families. But why target Britt? Sonny suspects the attack was meant for Jason himself. The wreck was no coincidence, it was a message. And that message just hit home. Hospital chaos, Britt's fate revealed. At General Hospital, tension runs high as emergency crews wheel in an unidentified woman from the crash site. Elizabeth Weber and TJ Ashford work frantically in the trauma bay while Liesl paces the hallway, her hands trembling. When the doctor finally emerges, the room falls silent. Dr. Westbourne suffered significant injuries, he says carefully. She's stable for now, but there's swelling on the brain. We won't know the full extent until she wakes up. Liesel nearly collapses, while Jason stands frozen, the relief and dread battling in his eyes. She's alive, but barely, and whoever caused that wreck may not be finished. The fallout, revenge, redemption, and revelation. As the days unfold, Port Charles becomes a powder keg of emotion. Liesel's grief turns to rage. Cody blames himself for not protecting Britt when he had the chance. Maxie prays her friend pulls through. But it's Jason who takes the heaviest blow. He stays by Britt's bedside every night, silent and still, remembering their stolen moments, the quiet laughter, the trust they built against impossible odds. His face softens as he whispers, "You told me I'd never let anyone in, but I let you." And somewhere between the steady beep of the heart monitor and the hum of the machines, there's a flicker of movement. Britt's fingers twitch, her eyelids flutter. Could she be waking up? A new mystery awakens. Just as Jason begins to hope, Dante arrives with unsettling news. Surveillance footage from a nearby gas station caught a glimpse of the car following Britt. The driver, a man with a scar across his cheek, someone Jason hasn't seen in years. Rumor has it, he's connected to Cyrus Renault. If that's true, then the crash wasn't just revenge, it was a warning. And now, with Britt in a hospital bed and Jason back in the crosshairs, the stage is set for another explosive showdown. Port Charles is about to learn, again, that love and danger walk hand in hand. Final thoughts: love, loss, and the fight to survive. Britt Westbourne's car crash could mark the beginning of one of General Hospital's most emotional arcs of the year. For Jason, it's not just about vengeance, it's about redemption. Can he protect the woman who once saved his soul, or will fate rip them apart once more? And if Britt wakes, will she remember what happened that night? Or will her silence hide a truth even darker than anyone suspects? One thing, for sure. In Port Charles, no secret stays buried, and no heart stays unbroken for long. Britt's fight for survival may ignite a chain reaction that changes everything. For Jason, for Liesel, and for every soul caught in the storm of love and loyalty that defines General Hospital. Brace yourself, because the wreck was just the beginning.